Now, welcome to you all in this online class. As you know, Turks were the professional guards, professional soldiers, and the guards of Abbasid Caliph in Baghdad. They became very faithful and close to their ruler, head, Caliph. But when the power of Caliph became very weak, they took the power to govern the kingdom as a governor. They were the head of provincial area. They were called governors. They declared them governors, and they were more power holder than the caliph. And when in the 19th century, by the end of the 9th century, they declared themselves governor, and after that, when caliph became very weak, they declared themselves as the independent ruler. But this was started by one Turks, and he set up a kingdom, dynasty, you can say. He declared himself as the ruler, and after that, the lineage, series of the king from the same family started to rule. And in this way, Ghaznavi's dynasty came into existence. About them, we have to study. Now here, first of all, Alaptagin founded this Ghaznavi's dynasty or lineage of rulers. After that, Subuktigin became the ruler. Here I have already said Subukt, KT will be there. I'm sorry because it is misprinted, or print is not reflected on the light. There is the mistake. So Subukt, KT will be there. He was the father of Mahmud Ghazni. After Subuktigin, Mahmud Ghazni became the ruler of Ghazni, a very small area in Afghanistan. It was a hilly and very poor region, very poor area, kingdom, where he started to rule. He was born in 971 CE and ascended the throne, became the ruler in 998 CE. After that, he gained control over Afghanistan and Khurasan, but later on, he wanted to control India because he had listened about the extraordinary wealth of India that he wanted to loot, get, and extend his empire. So he made many attacks, about 17 time attacks in 27 years. First of all, he decided to attack his near about area, northwestern India, where Pratihara rulers were ruling. Gurjar Pratihara was ruling in the northern west India. He made 17 times attack in 27 years, and his attacks were between 1000 CE to 1027 CE. He looted extraordinary wealth of India, destroyed many temples, cities, towns, killed so many peoples to create terror in their heart. As we know, in those days, temples were also the centers of wealth, fortunes, because in those days people used to donate valuable goods, jewelries, money, materials to the temple. and it used to be stored there. When he attacked such temples, he collected all these amounts and wealth and carried away to his own country. No doubt, Mahmud Ghazni became famous in India as a plunderer, destroyer of temples and towns and cities, right? But he is still remembered in his own country, Ghazni, as a great builder, because by the help of these amounts, he had built many beautiful mosques, palaces, libraries in his own countries. Right? Firdausi was a very famous poet of his time who wrote Shahnama, in which he praised the step of Mahmud Ghazni that he took to propagate Islam there. Now, Archita, you have asked the question, what is the meaning of plunderer? Plunderer means destroyer, who destroyed the temples. Okay? He plundered, he destroyed many temples, towns and cities. And in this way, Al-Warni have written about him in Kitab al-Hind, in which he has written an account of the Indian subcontinent during his period. So, this is the important knowledgeable things or information about Mahmud Ghazni. So you must know, in short, he was the son of Subuktigin and the ruler of Ghazni. He was born in 971 CE and became the ruler of Ghazni in 998 CE. He decided to attack. Yes, I have, on the same day I have already said, attack here means milana, jodna, but attack should be there. I have already said. Decided to attack northwestern area of India. Very late participants, they are demanding the to admit him. Don't disturb. Please, in time you join. Now, next point is he looted many extraordinary wealth and destroyed many temples, towns and cities in India. He terrified the people and became famous as a plunderer, destroyer, looter in India, but he is still remembered in his own country, Ghazni, as a great builder because he had made many mosques, palaces, and libraries there. He entrusted the work to write about him to Firdausi, who has written about Ghazni. In the praise, he has praised the steps taken by Mahmud Ghazni to spread Islam. Now, one of you have asked me what is the meaning of lineage. Actually, lineage means the line of the descendant of a particular family or family of rulers or family race ancestors. Lineage means the line of the people of a particular family or ancestor. Actually, it is used here in the reference of the series of the kings, line of the kings. Now, who became king after Subuktigin and Mahmud Ghazni in Ghazni. Okay. Now next is regions of attack and extension. Now this is very important thing to know why Mahmud Ghazni wanted to attack India. There were some regions. There are some regions. You have to know point-wise. First of all, plunderer means destroyer. Plunderer means destroyer, breaker of temples, town, cities. Listen carefully. This is fourth time the same question is repeated. Listen. Now, what were the regions? To make the Ghazni a powerful empire, right? First region behind the attack of Mahmud Ghazni on India was he wanted to make his own small kingdom Ghazni a powerful empire. So he was needed to have more wealth to organize a large and vast army and extend his empire by conquering other territories. In this way, he can make Ghazni a powerful and large empire. And for having a large army, there was need to have extraordinary wealth, too much wealth. So, since he has listened about the extraordinary wealth of India, so he decided to loot the great wealth of India and attack India. Next, he was trying to spread Islam in all over the world. It is said that he has made one mission of his life to spread Islam in other countries. So this was also the reason behind the attack of his attack on India. To propagate Islam. Third, he wanted to get popularity among the Muslims. It is why he destroyed many temples and disturbed Hindus. All these are the reasons to attack India. These were the regions which became the responsible factors for the attack of Mahmud Ghazni on India. So in this way, these 4-5 points are here. These are the regions of attack of Mahmud Ghazni on India. First, he wanted to make Ghazni a powerful empire. To make it a powerful empire, he was needed to have a large army. And to have a large army, there was need to have money, material. India was a land of wealth, extraordinary wealth. It was famous in the world as the center of wealth. So he attacked India. Yes, I will upload it on YouTube. To loot great wealth of India. Third point was to propagate Islam, spread Islam in other countries. And last one, he wanted to be popular among the Muslims. He wanted to gain popularity among Muslims. So these were the main reasons. Now next, how did he extend or conquer other areas? Which areas were taken under his control? He controlled Afghanistan and Khorasan. No doubt, these were not in India. But if matter comes about the extension of his empire, we can add this point. Next, he plundered, destroyed some towns and cities. Those were Nagarkot, Thanesar, Mathura, and Kannauj. He attacked on Somnath temple. he attacked on Somnath temple and looted extraordinary wealth, right? So in this way, these were the regions and extensions. Now next, what were the effects? What were the effects of Mahmud attack on India? Actually, there were some effects that was far-reaching in India. First of all, he exposed the weakness of Indian rulers, right? It exposed the weakness of Indian ruler. What were the weaknesses? Actually, Indian rulers were not united. So their disunity came out or came in the knowledge of the world. It proved that Indians were not supportive to each other. They were not cooperative. They were fighting among themselves. There was lack of cooperation, coordination among Indians, and this weakness was exposed, shown as a result or effect of Mahmud attack. Now, next was, it laid the foundation of Muslim rule. Actually, just after Mahmud Ghazni, other rulers, Muslim rulers, started to invade India, and one of them, Muhammad Ghori, got success to control some areas of India and to hand over the rule to his trusted commander, and Muslim rule was started in India. In this way, second important effect of this attack was starting of or foundation of Muslim rule in India. Third point or third effect was Muslim settlements due to trade. Actually, when Turks invaded India, Mahmud Ghazni invaded India, after that Muslim rule foundation took place, and India and between Central Asian country or Muslim dominated country, trade started. In course of trade, traders and merchants came in India, and in course of time they settled here. And in this way, Muslim settlements started in India. It is clear that before their arrival, Muslims were not in India, or Muslim settlements were not in India. It was the result of the Mahmud attack and the establishment of trade relation with them. Now next is a close interaction between India and Central Asia started. Close interaction here due to the trade, due to the rule of Muslims. Many of them came here, many Indians went there, and in this way close relationship started. We interacted with each other, we came very close to each other, and our interaction influenced our trade, education, society, polity, economy, etc. Now, next is great loss of wealth and building. Close interaction, great loss of wealth and building. Actually, in course of the attack of Mahmud Ghazni, many towns and cities were destroyed. So many valuable gold, silver, diamond, all these were looted. Now, all these were looted and it was taken away by them. Right. Next is next क्या है? It brought the great loss of wealth and buildings. Many buildings were destroyed. So many wealth were taken away. Now 1 minute. One of you have asked me where is Khurasan? Actually, Khurasan is in Iran. Right? Nowadays, it is in Iran. And Nagarkot nowadays in Nepal. Here 3 words are given now. Nagarkot, Nepal. Next is, 3 places were destroyed. Thaneshwar. Here in the map also, it is given. Thaneshwar. Thaneshwar is in Haryana. Mathura in UP. Right? And Kannauj also in UP. These 3 terms are written here. Places, the name of the places are here. So you should learn it so that it will be easy to locate on the map. Now, just now student is joining. What advantage you will get? What is the benefit to join this meeting now? You are very late. Now, next is the great loss of wealth and buildings. In this way, if question comes to write, this type of question comes in examination to write for 5 marks. If you will write all these lines in meaningful sentence, again and again I am telling you, these are the teaching points. You have to translate, you have to complete it in meaningful sentence. And you will get 5 out of 5 marks. Now, next is, after Mahmud Ghazni, what happened? Other ruler from that side came from Afghanistan, and he was Muhammad Ghori. Now, about this description, in page number 92, sufficient facts are written. When you will read the book, you will go through this. I am highlighting the main points. Actually, Muhammad Ghori was a ruler of Ghor in Afghanistan. After Mahmud Ghazni, he conquered Ghazni. He attacked India to extend his empire because Muhammad Ghori wanted to make his empire very large. And he moved towards India to attack. He controlled Peshawar, Lahore and Sindh. He had to fight 2 battles. And that battles were Battle of Tarain and First Battle of Tarain and Second Battle of Tarain. First battle was fought in 1191, in which Prithviraj defeated Muhammad Ghori. Prithviraj defeated Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori fled away from the battlefield, and again he came in next year in 1192, in which he defeated Prithviraj Chauhan by the help of Indian rulers. So in short, you should learn 2 battles of Tarain were fought between Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan. In first battle of Tarain, Prithviraj defeated Muhammad Ghori, but in second battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori defeated Prithviraj Chauhan. Later on, he attacked on Kannauj and Benares, where Jaichand was ruling. That person who has helped Muhammad Ghori in the second battle of Tarain against Prithviraj Chauhan. And later on, Jaichand was also defeated and his territories were taken away by Muhammad Ghori. But he did not continue his rule here by himself. He returned to his own country, Ghor, and he gave the charge of this area to his general Qutbuddin Aibak. And Aibak started rule in India, and he set up a new dynasty, and that was called what? Slave dynasty. Later on in next chapter we will read. But last one, I am taking only 2 minutes. After that, I will unmute you all for discussion. These are very important questions. Many times, many years, this type of question has been asked in the examination. What were the causes of the success of Ghori and the defeat of Indian rulers? So point-wise, you have to learn. First, you understand all these things. Better it will be to make out all the main points. First, behind the success of Ghori and defeat of Indian rulers were, first cause was the disunity of Indian rulers. Indian rulers were disunited, so they became very weak. They could not combat to foreign attack, and there was the caste feeling in the society, casteism. There was the understanding in the country, society, that some castes are upper, some castes are lower. It is why they do not give help to each other, and in this way, they lost their unity, and this became the main cause. Next, second is people dissatisfied, no contact with the rulers. Actually, common people were dissatisfied because they had no contact with the rulers, and rulers were not popular among them. Next is some Rajput rulers also supported to Turks, right? Turks, they should help to the Indian rulers, but they did not help. It was the misfortune of our country. Next is feudal lords. Feudal lords became more powerful than the rulers. They did not support militarily to the ruler, and it became the cause of the defeat of Indian rulers. And last one was the planning campaign. Campaign means here campaign हो गया है, CA होना चाहिए, campaign. Campaign means, military campaign means the warfare to attack. Now, Muhammad Ghori's campaign was planned proper way. He has planned to attack India in proper way. And their army was more powerful and well equipped than Indians. So it also became one of the cause. Now, one of you have asked me the cause. I am going to unmute. Okay.